Hello and good evening. My name is Harith and my partner Zaha. With us today is our subject for the interview, Miss Murugamah. How are you doing, Miss Muru?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you, boys?
We are good. We are
Fine.
good. We are great. All right. So
Good, good, good to hear that.
I would like to thank Miss Murugamah for willing to spend her time with us today. I was informed earlier that she just got back home from her school and she's still willing to spend her time being interviewed. So thank you so much, Miss Muru.
My pleasure.
So
Always great
before
helping you.
Thank you. So before we dive deeper into our main topic today, can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Okay, my name is Murugamah Armugam. I'm 56 years old this year, and I have another 4 more years before I retire wajib, pension wajib at 60 years old. And Harith, being my ex-student, I was teaching in Harith School for like 22 years. And then now there was a redeployment, and I'm in a different school now. I'm teaching in SMK Raja Abdullah, Kuala Lumpur. I'm teaching English for Form 4 and Form 5. Um, yeah, that's about it. Nothing much.
All right.
Yeah,
So with that much experience, almost 2 decades of teaching experience, we believe that she
no,
is
no. This is my 34th year of teaching.
wow. So more than 3 decades of teaching experience, we believe that she is credible enough to discuss our main topic today, which is working culture in the aspect of respect and fairness. So
So without wasting any time, we go to the first question. So for the first question, Ms. Mulu, I heard you got transferred to a new school in 2021. How do you adjust yourself in a workplace where majority are workers are Malay? And how welcoming are they in accepting you, especially when you got transferred to a new workplace?
Okay, that was a very, very, very disheartening moment for me. I kind of like, actually, I've come to accept the transfer, but deep in my heart, I'm not still that happy person. I'm just doing my duty. Aku yang menurut perintah, aku yang aku janji. I follow the orders and I do what I'm asked to do. As a government servant, I just do my duties. And end of the day, everywhere it's the same. There are children. So my main core subject, my core work is to teach kids and to mold kids, not teach only, but to mold and create good human beings. So anywhere they are all my children. So I'm just concerned about that. But when you're talking about being in that new environment after being in a school for like 22 years, it's very, very, very sad. It's very, very sad. And it was very difficult for me to accept because I was crying most of the time. Practically, I was like crying every day. I didn't like the school, I didn't like the system, I didn't like the infrastructure. And somehow or other, ever since I went to the school, I had a lot of health issues. Maybe because of the structure of the school. I'm getting old, and the school is like blocks by its own. So sometimes I have classes in one block, and then another class, maybe sometimes they have like 4 straight periods. I have 2 periods in the first block, and then the second period in a third and fourth period in another block. So I have to walk down from the third floor down to the whole block, and then climb up again to another block to the third floor. So that was taxing a lot, and then it was like it was it's actually killing my legs. Actually, it is killing my legs and my backbone and all that kind of things. So that apart, getting adjusted to new people, new environment, new people. You see, in my old school, I was like a big time taiko like that, like a otai, they call that. So I had the young ones who are looking up to me as like a sister, a kakak for them. I had all the adik-adik with me and all in the previous school. But here, although I'm very much senior, I'm considered as someone new. So sometimes they treat me like as though I don't know anything, or like, oh, she's new, she doesn't know things, that kind of thing. So that things like put you off sometimes. So because of that situation, I tend to keep quiet. I don't mingle much, I don't mix much. I just do my job and that's about it. So it took me more than a year to actually like mingle with everyone and to voice out my opinion. Before this, I don't even voice out my opinion. I'm quiet. Any meetings or whatsoever, I just keep quiet and listen to the during the meeting and never utter one word. Only now I have started to say something. Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I think I answered your question.
Yes, answered the
Okay.
question. And relating it, for the second question, have you ever encountered prejudice or racism while working as a minority race in your school?
Not exactly direct. For example, um, in my previous school, I would say in my previous school, um, they consider me as their kakak. So it doesn't matter whether they are Malays or Chinese or whatsoever, because I'm like a big sister to them. So, and I regard them as my sisters also. So even if they're having their personal problems or health issues or what, I go, I talk to them, I hug them, I kiss them, my colleagues, my female colleagues especially, and I share their happiness and sorrow. So in that situation, I did not see much of racism or prejudice because they always welcome me as their kaka. But sometimes I see racism in the sense of uh, like awarding something like rewards, like anugerah cemerlang or something like that. Sometimes I feel that certain people who receive it are not eligible to receive it. Maybe there are people who, I mean, like for example, I would have done like something very good, but then I don't get awarded because it's like considered like it's a normal thing. But when somebody else does it, they get rewarded. So that kind of thing happens. But I've come to accept the situation and like it's part and parcel of life, so just move on. For me it's just that, just move on. I don't give a damn, that kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on to the question, Ms. Mulu, in terms of
Mm.
workplace, have you ever experienced issue with the seniority culture, as you said earlier in your first answer? It's kind, it's kind, co, it's kind related with that answer based on this.
Yeah, yeah. Because like I'm a senior in the sense that I've like taught for 34 years, and then now I'm a junior in this present school. So, but then maybe some of them don't know my real age also. They think that I might be like younger and not many years. But then when I say that another 4 more years, I'm like retiring at 60, then only they're like, huh, Akak dah 50 plus, you're already 50 plus, Kak. Oh, Akak, you're going to retire. Oh, okay, okay, that kind of thing. So when they actually get to know my age and, how long I've been teaching, their perception towards me changes totally. Then they know that, oh, okay, like that, but then of course like some things, since I'm new to the school, some of the school maybe their system, let's say some of the system, not that I don't know, now I know their system, but some of the things, maybe places or people or somebody who is in charge or something, I might not know the person. So I would like, I don't mind of going and asking the younger teachers, this thing is happening, so who do I see, who do I see, what do I do, where do I get it from, that kind of question. So it's not an issue for me to go and ask a junior teacher, you know, because I cannot carry the big head thinking that I'm senior, I know everything kind of thing. I still have to like bend down and ask things. So that makes the working environment much more harmonious, I feel.
Moving on to the fourth question, Miss Mulu.
All right.
Is the relationship between you and your juniors? Is there any specific conflict that affect you that occur because of the age gap between you and your juniors?
Yeah. There was in the previous school also. There was this counselor. She thought that I was very young because maybe that time I was like this was quite some time back. She thought that I was very young, or maybe she thought that I was around her age. And then she was new to the school, but she was very rude to me. And I didn't like the way she spoke to me. She's a counselor, she's a school counselor, and she spoke to me in that manner. So I was very angry with that attitude. I was thinking that, being a counselor, you must be more refined, humble or something like that. Not the way she spoke. We were having some school program and I was in charge of the registration. She came and talked to me as though like, I have to kowtow to her or something like that. So I got very mad with her. Then later on, another person came and talked to me, and that person addressed me as Kaka. Then this counselor heard it and she said, "Hey, you're calling her Kaka because that counselor calls that teacher Kaka. And then that Kaka is calling me Kaka." And then she was like asking, why are you calling her Kaka? And then this teacher said, "Of course lah, she's so much older than us. That's why I call her Kaka." Then only she came to ask me, "Sorry, yeah, what is your age?" And then when I told the age, "Sorry kak, sorry. Kalau saya terlepas cakap ke apa, minta maaf kak." Since then, she started calling me Kaka and her attitude changes. She changed, and then after that, she went to another school and all. So we are still friends until today. We are still friends. What I see nowadays, the present young generation, so much juniors, uh, they think that maybe I think the 2K kids, the 2K kids or the 90s kids, they have this thing, head weight in their, they carry this head weight, they think they are like IT savvy, they are so good, they are, like the IT kids or something like that, they have this, they are very axy, I would say. And then they don't like respect. I find there are few teachers in my school, and in fact these teachers are one-off, the one-off system, where the previous minister of education, they employed these young teachers, not young teachers, teachers from different walks of life. If they wanted to change their occupation, they can choose for being teachers. So they have a few people who have actually, there are so many of them who got this offer, you see. So even in my school, there are quite a number of them who have, come in as a teacher for the first time. But because they have been working in other line earlier, when they come in, they think that they are hell of something. They don't like respect you, they don't like acknowledge you, they don't even like smile at you, so there is a gap. There is definitely a gap, which I don't like, which I don't like. So I'm just like practically waiting for the right moment for me to give my peace of mind to them. For this kind of people, I think I really have to give my peace of mind. So when the time comes, I'll knock her head. I'll do what is right. Yeah. That there is an age gap. Yeah.
Right, Ms. Mulu. Moving on to the fifth question is, do you find yourself using different tones when talking to your juniors compared to talking with coworkers in your age group?
Yes, that happens often because, like, as the saying goes, birds of feathers flock together. So the oldies will all get together with the oldies, and the way we talk to each other is like different. But when we are with the younger ones, it's different. The way the tone is like slightly different. But then again, it depends on the kind of juniors that we are talking to. If those juniors are the ones who like look upon us like elders and they respect us and all, the tone will be very soft tone, like more like a motherly tone or sisterly tone or something like that. And if that junior is someone who is like very stubborn and axy and uh, heavy head, like stone-headed characters, then we have to be like stern, like okay, yes, can, yeah, you can do that, it's like very business like. Yeah, the tone changes. Correct.
Right.
Okay.
So moving on to the sixth question, you mentioned how you want to mold, not only teach, but you want to mold your students' well-being and behavior. So how do you support your children's or your students' well-being and development?
For how for the development, okay, first thing first, um life nowadays is not that easy, especially after the pandemic. A lot of families, a lot of children are affected because of the pandemic. Okay, so like when they come to school, yeah, they come to school to study and get some good grades and then achieve something in their life. But more than that, I'm more concerned about their well-being. Like because of pandemic, some of them have started working. They don't want to study. They think that studying is a burden, so they rather go work and get some money, that kind of thing. But my motive is to motivate them to come back to school, study, work, during the school holidays or something like that, and then slowly like try to look out for the talent that they have. Like for example, I can see, when I see some children with some innate talents in them, like they can speak well, their oratory skill is very good. They can speak good English. They can read or write well. So I go and tap them. I get them to, get them into a group, and then I slowly mold them. Okay, you become my debate team, you do this singing, the activity, and present in front of the class, or present it in the assembly, so that the other students can see these people's talent. And I want these children to get recognition from their other friends and teachers, so these children will feel proud, and they will think twice if they want to stop school or something like that. They feel like they are being appreciated. I want them to feel appreciated. I want them to feel good about themselves. So by doing this, they develop themselves. I'm developing them, and they also develop themselves, because they know that they have talent. And all a teacher has to do is to make sure that talent comes out into the public, and to develop the talent further. So that's what I'm doing now. Even in this school, that's what I'm doing. I've like got some few students to be in the debate team, because in the earlier school I was the debate teacher. So here I'm doing the same thing. I've got the girls, I've got the boys. So very soon after the school reopens, they will have their practices and things like that. And then throughout the last semester, I got some students to perform during the assembly, early in the morning. So some students who never open their mouth, and never play music, they have been playing music, they have been singing in front of the public, and they get recognized. So they are feeling very proud of themselves, So, and because like previously, these children used to be like being absent from school. But once they started performing and people like started, wow, you can sing well, this and that, oh, they are coming to school every day. So that is one achievement for me. Yeah.
I have to admit that is very clever on how you make the students feel appreciated, on how you make them feel proud of themselves. That is very clever actually.
You have
So
experienced that, right, Red?
yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
So the next question is there any differences on how the community in your school treat people with disability compared to normal people? Previously in our school we have PPKI, right? Program
Yeah.
Pendidikan Khas Integrasi. So
Yeah.
is there any differences on how the community in your school treat people with disability compared to normal people?
Okay. This present school that I'm teaching, we don't have PPKI student. It is all the normal kids, but there are children. I've seen one girl who walks very, very slowly, a Form 5 girl. She has difficulty walking. She drags her leg. But I see the children are very loving towards her. Excuse me, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
The children are very loving towards her. Help her to carry the bag. Sometimes help her out once, during the assembly when she's sitting on the floor. Oh, sorry.
Okay, miss.
You have to do editing, huh?
It's okay,
Yeah.
miss. Your time.
Then when she needs to get up, the friends will hold her hand, carry the bag. They do that. So I feel that they are compassionate towards their friends. Yeah, that happens. I don't see any other children with disabilities there. So far, this is okay. And then when boys come back after accident,
Mm.
they would have had some accidents and all. So their friends are helpful, carrying their bags, they're holding them, getting down from the staircase and all. They are helpful. So that the compassion is there. Yeah, it's there.
Right. So the next question is: have you ever encountered rude students, and how do you deal with these students?
Uh, yeah, I've encountered very rude students, especially in the previous school, because there was this one particular student who was so rude that he was like sleeping in the class, not doing his exam. So I have the habit of waking up everyone who sleeps in the class. So the exam just started and he was already like lying down on the desk, not doing his exam. And he was a Form 3 boy. At that time, he was in Form 3. And those days, Form 3, they were having the PT3. So I went and tapped his shoulder. I just like tapped his shoulder, asking him to wake up to do the paper. He was angry and said, "Pergi mampus lang kau." He used that word. So I was so mad at him. I was so mad at him. Reported him to the discipline teacher for using such word to me. But after that, I never really like. But he got into so many other disciplinary problems in school. So he was always like called for discipline actions, the discipline problems and all. So he used to be there. So I actually was not teaching him because that particular time was like I was relief teacher and I went to the class when he asked me to go and mampus. So I was not teaching him. So I kind of like avoided that boy. I didn't want to see that fella. But I did have some rude children. I would say they were rude when they were in like Form 4. They were very rude in the sense that they used to fight in the class. So every teacher who enters the class used to say that this class is a horrible class. They throw tables at each other because they have plastic tables, and they used to throw tables at each other when they get angry and all. And the following year, and I was teaching English there, so I was having a tough time with them. The following year, I happened to be their class teacher. That particular class who everybody cursed in Form 4 was given to me in Form 5. So I was like, I hated the whole thing. So I went to the principal and asked her to change the class. I said, these children are very naughty, they are very rude, and they are not afraid of me. The principal told me one thing: we don't want teachers where the students are scared of. We want teachers where the students respect. She said like that. I say, but these children are very rude. I've been teaching them last year. They are very they behave very badly. Then she said, I don't know, Chigu, but I think you can do something about them. So if you try to control them, if anything happens, we will try to back up. That's all she said. So when I went to the class, I told the children straight, I don't like y'all. I told them straight. It was orientation day, orientation week, before the school term started. So they were in Form 5. I told them, saya tak suka kamu. Kamu ni semua kurang ajar. Semua cikgu marah kamu sebab kamu kurang ajar. Tapi kamu adalah amanat saya. Kamu diamanahkan kepada saya. Kalau mak kamu marah, kamu dengar, begitulah dengan saya. Kalau saya marah, you kena dengar. Kalau mak ada kat rumah, saya ada kat sekolah. So selagi saya marah awak, maksudnya saya masih lagi pedulikan awak. Kalau saya tak marah kamu, maksudnya saya tak kisah apa berlaku pada kamu nanti. So kalau you nak ikut cakap, you ikut cakap teacher, saya jaga awak. Kalau tak, you keluar dari kelas ni. That was the first thing I told. Then they were like very quiet. Then later, they developed to have a very good relationship with me. And they celebrated my birthday after school without my knowledge. They got their mothers, their sisters and all to cook for them lunch, They bought the cake, and when I saw the cake that they made for me, they just wrote Mama Muru. It was just written Mama Muru, happy birthday Mama Muru. So that showed how much the love has developed over the months. It was just like 7 months. My birthday was in August. I scolded them in December, and January to July, there's some kind of love developed between the naughty children and me. And during my birthday, which is the beginning of August, they could actually give me a cake, and it's just written Mama Muru, happy birthday Mama Muru. And they had the birthday celebration. They were like planning everything secretly. It was a surprise birthday party for me. And then after that, we went out for shell out, went for makan, year end, and things like that. So things change. Things just change. These root children really change. Then I realized that it is the way you tackle them. It is how you tackle the children. So then another thing, in the previous class in Form 4, their class is never tidy. The class is always lintang pukang ni, very untidy, the tables everywhere, rubbish and all. But in Form 5, they were the one who won the highest winners they were the first winner. Not first winner. They are the one who got class cleanliness winners for many times, like 23 weeks. For 23 weeks, they were the highest winner. They were like winning every week for the class yang paling bersih. They won for 23 weeks, and end of the year for Hari Anugerah co-curriculum and this one, they got the award. They got some money and all, hamper and all. So from teruk gila macam tu, they can become like, clean, take care of the class, behave well, that kind of things. Things change. And Form 4, they did not do well in the English. And in Form 5, in SPM, about more than half, I think there was 31 of them in the class, about 17 of them passed English, which was a great achievement for me. For me, I feel very happy because earlier when they were in Form 4, there was only like 4 people passing the paper. But later in Form 5, about, SPM, about 17 of them got through the English paper with some good credits as well. So that is like something which I'm very happy about. Yeah, these are the naughty children,
All right. So the next question is, we know that our technology has advanced so far, and TikTok has become more popular even among the teachers. And some teachers even recorded themselves and the students. What is your opinion regarding this method?
I think if you are doing it like once in a while, or if let's say it's something which is like very necessary, then it's okay. But I think some of them are doing it like so many times or like very often, which I think is like too much. There's like more important things to do to, let let's say if you're an exam class teacher, you have a lot of exam stuffs to to teach the children or something like that. But you go on and TikTok with the children and dance and sing and do all kinds of fun. I think that is not necessary. You can, like, once in a while is okay, I feel, but it's too much is not right. But then again, there are also some teachers who are using TikTok as a forum or as a platform to educate, in the sense that they get the students to perform like some public speaking, or give some ideas about something, and then they use this to teach other students. So there are some teachers who are doing that. So I really salute such teachers. I really salute such teachers, because some of them are very shy to be seen in the camera. So they make use of the children, I mean the students, to, let's say, like for example, like today in my present school, tomorrow is Ishraq and Mesraj, right? Okay, so they got these two students to speak about the significance of Ishraq and Mikraj, for tomorrow. So actually, the Ustaza, she she created a TikTok, but she was not there. She just made use of the two boys to dress up, like the ulama's kind of attire, and present the ideas, and uh, tell the students about the meaning of the occasion, and what they are supposed to know and all. And it was supposed to be shared among all the classes. So I, as a class teacher of Form 4, I shared it with my students. So the Muslim students will have to, like, answer certain questions based on that. So it is also one way of learning using technology, which is very good. So if you use TikTok for this kind of situation, it's very good. It's a something different, a different way. What do you call that? A different method of learning, which is interesting, more interesting, rather than to listen to the teacher talk, 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 talk all the time. So TikTok will do the talking. So it's like, it's nice. It's nice. So use it in the right way. Should be the best way. Yeah.
So for the last question, during the old days, it is known that most of the parents back then give permission to the teachers to develop their children's behavior. Teachers back then were allowed to scold their children. Some parents even encourage the teachers to, like, scold their children or punish their children, like sit on the chair if they didn't finish their homework. However, that is not the case nowadays, where most parents will scold the teachers back if the teachers ever do that to their children. So, what is your opinion about this?
Well, times have changed, but me being the old school, I'll really, really, really welcome and support the old system, because many of the parents nowadays have got no time to take care of their children. Both parents are working, they are at work most of the time, and the children are left alone. Okay, those rich families, they can have a maid at home, and then the maid takes care of the children's food and etc. So the parents are not there. They come back in the evening. When they come back in the evening, it is time for dinner and maybe shower and go to bed. So this is the lifestyle for present days in most houses. But then what happens is, they don't know what the children are doing in school. They don't know what the children are doing behind their back. So if in this kind of situation, the parents give the permission to the teachers to mold the children or to develop the children, it is better, because we have the power to, educate them, at the same time to make sure, put a stop to all kinds of nonsense that the students are doing outside the school. But then that is not the case now. We can't even touch the student. That is the situation now. We can't even touch the students. The teachers can get convicted. They can go to jail, if anything happens. So because of that, these children, they get, they get carried away, and they are like very happy that they know, and the children know that the teachers are not supposed to touch them. So they think that they are hell or something, and they just like get carried away, and they don't give a damn about what is happening in school. Whatever they do, they know end of the day the parents can come and sue the teacher or something like that. So they get they are on the they are having the upper hand at, compared to the teachers. So the teachers are at the losing end, I would say. So I will prefer, like during my school days, if at all we get any scolding or one cane from the teacher, we will never open our mouth when we come back home. Because if at all we come back home, we will have additional caning, or we will get extra whacking from the parents. You have done something wrong, that's why your teacher has, whacked you, that kind of thing. So we'll keep quiet, we'll never utter a word. But that is how we came up. But the present day children, they are so manja, too manja, you can't even touch them. And then end of the day, when something goes wrong, the parents will complain the teachers have not looked after the children. The teachers did not curb the problem from the beginning and all. You can't even be strict. And then there's a lot of procedures that we have to follow. So we just follow the procedure. So if you ask me, I prefer the old style, where you just whack them, shut up, do what I do, don't do what I do, what I ask you to do, don't do what I do, that kind of thing. Yeah, I prefer that one.
All right, Miss Mulu, we already reached the end of our interview session today with you. Thanks a lot for having a moment with us, despite your hectic schedule as a teacher. And from this interview session, we learned a lot about working culture as a teacher. We really do appreciate your time with us, Miss Mulu.
No problem. It's my pleasure. Wishing you all very good results and good grades for this paper.
Thank you very much, Ms. Mulu.
The best grade. Okay, no problem.
Share the result with you.